Hello, Flosstube. Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, doing the second part of my FFO parade. I was cut off rather abruptly last time. I was almost done, but I think my tablet, it gave me an hour and a half, and it's probably all it it can handle. Uh, so, like I said, I have just a couple more finishes. I have several things that I have just pictures of because I gave them uh, gave them out already. But and then I just want to touch on my two FFOs for the month of December that I still have time to do. So I'm hoping that I will get them done. So anyway, to pick up right where I left off, um, I was about to talk about a finish I gave to my sister. Oh, excuse me 1 minute. Sorry, that bothers me. um, you probably can't see it, but it bothers me. So um, another finish I did in December was for my older sister. I had worked on this earlier this year, the Snowman 2023 by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I had mentioned that when I finished it, and I almost finished it, I posted prematurely without having done his little mouth on there. So anyway, I had been working on this since I think I started it maybe in May, sometime earlier this year, and decided to finish it, and then I decided to give it to my sister. She really likes Snowman, so this is how I finished it. It's and it bummed me out because it's slightly crooked right here. I can see how crooked it is, but when it's hanging on the tree, you can't really tell. So I had this larger rickrack, and I just noticed, that's the corner of the fabric. Um, so I went around with this red rickrack, and then I used this tiny rickrack to make a hanger, and then I backed it with this red fabric with the little dancing reindeer on it. Well, they're not really dancing, but they're just little reindeer. I thought it was cute. Um, but so I did this with just two pieces of mat board. It's slightly larger than this one, and I can really see how crooked it is. Sorry, but anyway, it's cute. Don't look at the edges. Um, but yeah, so that's a little snowman with a tall hat. I think they in the pattern they called him Henri, something like that. Um, Top hat Henri is what they call him. So anyway, that's finished. And then for Whipco, at some point, I had this La Di Da Kitty Kitty. It was on my Whipco chart, and my goal was to finish it because it was almost finished. And when I met the goal, I went ahead and FFO'd it in a little pillow. So, and I changed a couple of things from the original. This was done in grays on black linen, or and I can't remember. I don't have the instructions with me about how it was finished. What count the fabric was that it was done on. This is La Di Da, Kitty Kitty La Di Da, and but I used it was a piece of fabric that I think I got it in a giveaway or something, and I don't remember offhand the count. It's not 32 or 28. It's something other, but it's a very dark green. So I had to make a little adjustment in the green on the leaves here. These are all DMC colors. And on these initials, it's C and H, Cyrano and Hotspur, who were my previous kitties. And 08, no, 90, this is a 90. 90 is the year I got them. And so they were tuxedo cats. So I just changed this to make them black and white. They didn't look quite like this. They both had white on their chests, but I just, instead of doing, gray and lighter gray, which is what the chart called for, I did black and white. So, and then this little border, was part of the design. And so I backed it with Lady Dot Creates Velveteen, and then I used this sparkly yarn. And it's actually, when you cut it, it just like the little fibers come off, but so I think I stitched it on here, but then I had to use like fray stop or something like that to keep it from just disintegrating where I cut it, to trim. But it looks really nice. The pillow is nice and squishy, and it's very sparkly right there. So that was La Di Da Kitty Kitty. And then the other things I have, I actually gave them all away for various things. For my younger sister, who is really into knitting, I did this Puntini chart, What's Your Superpower? And the words on the stitching are, I turn grass into wool, what's your superpower? So it came with this little button. It's a skein of yarn. And if you look at the sheep's body, the sheep is shaped like a skein of yarn. And it's done in variegated threads. No, excuse me. It's done in DMC, but there's one variegated thread, which is for this hill. And the thread was Romy's Creations Camouflage. And I could not find that anywhere. I looked on 123 Stitch, I looked on other places online, and I could find some places that carried the Romy's Creations threads, but nobody had camouflage. So I just used a different color, and, sorry, let me pull up. Like I said, I don't have it because I already gave it away. I gave it to my sister for her birthday. And I want to see if I should have a picture of the finish. There it is. It's hard to see here. But I finished it on this little board that I got at Hobby Lobby. It has an easel on it, an easel back. And I stitched it. I can't remember what green I used, but it was a variegated overdyed thread. I don't remember if it was Weeks Dye Works or some other color, some other brand. But I stuck the little button on there, and sorry, I'm trying to hold it in a way where it won't wash out. But I think I used a piece of foam core on there, and then I trimmed it with this yarn. And the yarn that I used is a very loose weave. I remember my sister saying, that's kind of like, it's almost like unspun yarn, because it's so loose. And but it fit it was the exact right shade, and even the openness of it, the looseness of it fit this the stitch, I think. So there was that. So that's a Puntini chart. And then, and these are in no particular order, but I also did this, I don't have a picture of it, just the chart. Be Well, it's a little a freebie during the pandemic. A lot of designers did freebie designs. I think I showed this before around this theme of be well. This is the Blackberry Rabbit. I talked about this recently, and so I did this. I stitched it a long time ago. It was among my just random FFOs that I had, but I finished it for my cousin Judy for Christmas, and this was the I did it as a round. It was a round design, and so I just cut a piece of mat board to fit it, and then and somewhere on here, yeah, I just backed it with this same red cloth that I have, and if I can find it, yeah, I put this red trim around it. The red trim that I used before on that little Santa ornament, and I got one of those little wooden easel things to set it on. So it's not an ornament like you hang on a tree or anything like that, but it sits on the little easel thing. So that was her little gift for that. I think I showed it on my updates before. And then this was something unusual. This little hand towels was a little kit that has these gnomes on it. And when I saw it, I thought immediately of my younger sister, who's very into gnomes. Her name is Naomi. We always called her Nomi when we were growing up. And so, yeah, so she's, used that gnome persona. So these little hand towels are by Jack Dempsey Needle Art, and they're embroidery. And so I had to do a quick tutorial on this down here is kind of a big cross stitch, but then all the other stuff is done in stem stitch, and so I had to make sure I knew how to do that. And actually, I made a little boo-boo. The beards on these gnomes are done with I used 4 threads for them, but then I forgot that I had used 4 threads, and I think I did like a satin stitch on the nose instead of just doing the outline of the nose. I filled it in, and but I had used, like I said, I had used 4 threads to do the beard of the lines on the beard, and I used 4 threads when I did the satin stitch on one of the noses, and then I set it aside and forgot for a while. And when I picked it back up again, the other nose I did with 2 threads. I did the satin stitch, but I only used 2 threads. And then when I was doing 2 threads to do the stem stitch on the feet, and I thought, why does that look so different? Why does it look so different? And I realized it was only 2 threads. And I think I had already done the body of the butterfly up here, and then I was doing the feet, and when I realized it, but then I decided I don't care. I was doing it all 2 threads. It looked fine. And really, if I had done the little beard and everything with 2 threads, it would have been okay. But so you could tell just a tiny difference, but it worked out okay. So I think I have a picture. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I didn't take a picture of it. I thought I did. Oh well. Let me look in one other place. Well, I don't have a picture of the finished product. I thought I had taken a picture of it, but I guess I did. One more, please. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I stitched um the towels. So I thought I had taken a picture of it, but I guess I didn't. And then and the other thing I did as Christmas gifts were several charts out of this snowball pin cushions. I did this little. It's called Snow Day, and this one, Let It Snow. And then I did the third one I did for my niece. I took this little bird. If you look at it's called Family Photo, and there's a little bird there. But this bird, they put in the book, they put little excerpts from the charts, and this bird does not appear in this shape, in this with the trees and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't appear anywhere in the charts. This bird, this version of the bird is it's thinner, and its hat is different, and there's no trees or anything like that. But I loved this little bird, so I just made a chart that I could see out of it on PC Stitch. It's exact same bird, and I stitched it, and I stitched. It's very tiny, because it's only like 30, like 36 by 23, so it's very small. But so I do have pictures of those finishes. So this is Snow Day. Oops. And I think I talked about these on my channel, my update. I showed all of these little finishes. So there's a pillow finish of Snow Day, and this is the one I fussy cut the fabric on the back of it, and I used some of that green ribbon that I got at Michael's to edge it with, and then this is the Let It Snow pillow, and that's the back of it there, which is just fabric that I had. And again, some of that red ribbon from Michael's. And then there's the little bird. I found these wooden ornaments. This is a mitten. It's kind of hard to tell from the picture. And there was a tree, a little outline of a tree, and I can't remember where I found them. If it was at Hobby Lobby or at Michael's. But so I finished the little bird on the I put it on a piece of mat board, put some of that I think I used that tiny rickrack around it, and stuck it to that little mitten. So those were all Christmas presents. And then at the last one I had, I think I have a picture of it also, was the design I did for my brother-in-law earlier this year, called "Not Everything Counts." It's a quote that he really liked. You can't tell from these pictures, but these are little sheep. Their bodies are white, and I couldn't get it to print with the colors. So there's a little peacock there and a bunch of sheep, And the quote is, "Not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted." And so my logic was, you can count this peacock. You can't count a whole bunch of sheep. It's harder to count, you know. So, like I said, you know, like it says, not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. And I think I have a picture of it, of the finished, yeah. So again, I finished it on that one of those little wooden slats, and I just put it on, I think, a piece of foam core. And I didn't put any kind of trim around it because it had that border around the design. And that's the design I came up with. So, and the words kind of like, you know, joined together. So yeah, so there's this, not everything, and the N is the same, and it's a slightly different color on this, not everything. Not everything that counts, no, that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. So, and there's the person's name, W.B. Cameron. It's often mistakenly attributed to Ben Franklin, but it's not a Ben Franklin quote. It's this guy, W.B. Cameron. So, so that was my design that I did. So that's all the FFOs that I've done this year, except I have on my Whipco chart, I had 2 FFOs on the chart, and like I said before, technically I've done FFOs this month, but I didn't do the specific FFOs that I had listed. So I'm hoping I still have until Sunday, and so the 2 that I had on my chart were this one by Luminous Fiber Arts, Gathering Berries. She did a series of these. I think there's Gathering Acorns is the autumn one, and I can't remember the other 2, but there's Gathering Berries was one of them, and it's only 76 stitches squared. And I think she did it in like just a red, and I used this this color. It's slightly different, I think, than the color that she called for. I think it's a Belsois that she did that the model was stitched in, and this is, I think, a DMC. But it came out very pretty. I really like that color, and I dyed this fabric myself. This is I think it's a 28 count Lugana. But so I have that, and I have this Twin Peak Primitives chart, Easter preparation. I saw this, I don't know if I saw it online or if I saw it on Just Keep Stitching, or I don't remember where, but the minute I saw it, I thought, I need to get that. So this is Easter Preparation by Twin Peak Primitives. There's the little bunny and mice and everything. So this is my finished stitching, and I dyed this 28 count Lugana that I dyed myself. I just like the way it came out. It's so pretty. So I went to Hobby Lobby today to I bought another one of these little boards. I have a light colored kind of scalloped edged board, but I think I like this better. I think the color stands out better. This is for Not Everything Counts. Sorry. So I'm going to put Not Everything Counts on here, and I got this. This is yarn again. It's a sort of a velveteen yarn, and I got this to trim because I think the color matches nicely. And I actually took those 2 charts to Hobby Lobby with me to make sure the colors are right and everything fit. So I bought this other piece, and this one I was really nervous about because I wasn't sure that the Easter preparation thing would fit. So I went to the sewing area, and there was like a ruler hanging there, but that was a clear it was a clear ruler, and the measurement edges. So I used that to measure the Easter preparation. So it should fit. It should just fit. Sorry, there's a piece of lint on there. It should just fit in this. And I think what I'll do is I might back it with fabric. I'm not sure, but it should fit in that little wooden window there. And then I bought this as trim for it. It's another one of these velveteen yarns. This is called Spa is the color. So see how that matches up. It should be a trim. And if that doesn't work, I have a bunch of different colors of yarn that I'll use for a trim. So that I could use for trim. So like I said, I have until Sunday to to do those FFOs. So I'm hoping that I'll get that, and if I do, then I will complete my my whipgo chart, and also then as long as I'm FFOing, what I want to do, and I wanted to do this earlier, and I just didn't have time or energy to finish to do it. Is this little Praiseworthy Stitches chart. I talked about it before. It came as a little kit. Sorry, I'm taking it all apart here. With all these things. So it came with this little ornament shape. And it came with this rickrack trim and a piece of black ribbon. And the chart instructions, of course. And then these little pieces of board, of like cardboard. This is Praiseworthy Stitches Little Witch Ornament Kit. So it's this little thing, and there's instructions in the kit to how to put it together. But so so this is the little witch I stitched, and the in the picture I think they just in the back stitching for her mouth they just had a straight line. And so I gave her a little bit of a smile, and I also gave her a wand, because in the stitching she just has her hand up here and there's nothing in it. So I put a little wand there. So, but I did this and in a day or two, I think, or something. I stitched, it stitches up very quickly because it's very tiny. But so I'm hoping that maybe I can FFO this while I'm doing the other two. So we'll see. I'm hoping I can get it done this weekend also, which is like tomorrow and Sunday. Because right now it's late at night, Friday night, so, but I wanted to finish up. So, so I wanted to just touch on, I'm going to talk about it more tomorrow, but for Whipco, I'm not, like I said, I'm not doing FFOs. I only have a handful of finishes right now, and I may be able to just go ahead and slip them in somewhere. I set my Whipco goals, stitching goals, for like only 7 days for each square, and because the 6 days that I had for each square for this year was pretty easy to do, and it gave me some extra time because I had FFOs every month and that sort of thing. So so the 6 days, gave me some leeway, and I was able to just do a couple of extra days if I could or whatever. So, but I don't have the giant FFO list that I had before, because I did a whole bunch of them, as you can tell. Not only the ones that were on my WIPCO board, but some extras in there. Like for December, I was like frantically stitching and FFOing and everything else. But yeah, and I want to say, for all those pillow finishes, I want to say thanks to my sister Eve, because she has a sewing machine, and she's zip zip zip, and so that otherwise I would have been finishing all those pillows by hand, which is how I used to do what I used to do. Yeah, so she's helped me immensely by being able to just zip through those the stitching, the sewing of when for all those little pillow finishes that I did. I just had, I just measured them and marked them off and stuff, and said, these are the stitching lines, and then I was able to stuff them and trim them and all that kind of stuff much more easily, because I am not. Technically, I know how to use a sewing machine because I did when I was very, 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 very young. Well, and I think in junior high also, as part of like the home ec stuff, when we did like one semester of sewing or whatever, sewing and embroidery and things like that. The other semester we did cooking. I'm not much of a domestic person. I know how to cook to survive. And when I was living in Little Rock, living on my own, I cooked a little bit, but not a whole lot. I'm not fantastic in the kitchen. I don't want to be. I'm not interested in cooking and sewing and things like that. So, like I said, if my life depended on it, I could I could sew or things like that. But my life doesn't depend on it, so I don't do it so much. But so like I said, I relied on my sister to help me sew things on the machine. And anyway, um, thank you so much for watching my FFO parade, both parts. I just wanted to, like I said, to finish up because I wanted to, because I was abruptly cut off before. But so, getting ready to do my regular update tomorrow, at which time I'm hoping to do a whip parade, not of the whips that I have been working on, because I think I've shown them and talked about them at length over the year, but the whips that I have upcoming for WhipGo, we'll see, because I may be able to get through it all quickly and just touch on the whips that I did this past year. I haven't really thought that through yet, but definitely the whips that'll be on my WhipGo board for this coming year, for 2024. So yeah, I'll talk about that at length more on my regular update, which I will do tomorrow, Saturday. And so that's it. So that's it for part 2, the addendum to my my FFO parade. And I will see you tomorrow for my regular update. And I'll talk a little bit about some things I got, some stitchy things I got for Christmas in that update as well. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you again real soon. Thanks. Bye.